Your biggest mistake isn't trusting the wrong people, it's trusting the right people with the wrong information. The person who sabotaged your last promotion sits 3 desks away from you and brings you coffee every morning. The friend who cost you that business deal is the same one who helped you move into your new apartment. The family member who undermined your relationship was at your wedding, crying tears of joy. These aren't sociopaths or master manipulators. They're ordinary people who've made an extraordinary decision to compete with you in secret rather than confront their own mediocrity. They've chosen to be your shadow rather than find their own light. You know what shocks me most about human nature? It's not the obvious enemies who come at you with weapons drawn. It's not the people who openly declare war on your dreams. No, what truly amazes me is how the person who sits at your dinner table every night, who knows your favorite coffee order, who has access to your most private thoughts, can become your greatest competitor without you even suspecting it. Right now, as I speak to you, there's someone in your life who is studying your moves, analyzing your strategies, and secretly plotting to outmaneuver you. They're not wearing a mask or hiding in the shadows. They're right there in plain sight, perhaps even nodding along as you share your deepest aspirations. They might be your business partner, your closest friend, your family member, or even your romantic partner. This isn't about paranoia or distrust. This is about awareness. This is about understanding that competition doesn't always announce itself with fanfare and obvious rivalry. The most dangerous form of competition is the kind that wears the mask of support, that speaks the language of encouragement, that appears to be cheering you on while secretly positioning itself to overtake you. You see, I've spent decades studying human behavior, and I've noticed a pattern that most people miss entirely. The people who hurt us the most are rarely strangers. They are the ones who have been given access to our inner circle, our dreams, our strategies, and our vulnerabilities. They know exactly where to strike because we've handed them the map to our treasure. Let me tell you about Marcus. Marcus was a gifted musician with a voice that could move mountains and a talent for writing songs that touched the soul. He had dreams of making it big in the music industry, and he shared these dreams with his best friend David. Now, David appeared to be the perfect friend. He was always there to listen when Marcus talked about his music. He encouraged Marcus to keep pursuing his dreams. He even attended Marcus's small performances at local venues, clapping the loudest and telling everyone how talented his friend was. But here's where the story gets interesting. While David was publicly supporting Marcus, he was privately taking notes. Every conversation about Marcus's musical style, his networking strategies, his upcoming opportunities, David was absorbing it all like a sponge. David started learning the same instruments Marcus played. He began writing songs in a similar style. He started attending the same industry events, but he went alone, never mentioning his connection to Marcus. David was patient. He was strategic. He was building his own musical career using Marcus's blueprint. But he was doing it quietly, secretly, systematically. When Marcus would share his excitement about a potential record deal, David would congratulate him enthusiastically, but behind the scenes, David was researching those same record labels, those same producers, those same opportunities. The devastating moment came when Marcus discovered that David had landed a recording contract with the very same label that Marcus had been pursuing for 2 years. The label executive told Marcus that they had already signed someone with a similar style and sound. That someone was David. Marcus's own best friend had used Marcus's dreams, his strategies, his connections, and his very identity to build a career that should have been Marcus's. This is the reality we live in. The people closest to us often become our biggest competitors. Not because they set out to hurt us, but because they lack the courage to forge their own path. They see our success, our potential, our opportunities. And instead of being inspired to create their own, they decide to take ours. But here's what I want you to understand. This isn't about becoming suspicious of everyone around you. This isn't about building walls and trusting no one. This is about developing the wisdom to recognize the signs before they destroy you. This is about understanding that competition often wears the face of friendship. And the most dangerous competitors are those who smile at you while secretly plotting your downfall. You see, when someone competes with you openly, you know where you stand. You can prepare. You can strategize. You can protect yourself. But when someone competes with you secretly, they have an unfair advantage. They know your moves, but you don't know theirs. They are playing chess while you think you're having a friendly conversation. The truth is, most people who become secret competitors don't start out that way. They often begin as genuine supporters, real friends, authentic well-wishers. But somewhere along the way, your success becomes a mirror that reflects their own inadequacy. Your progress becomes a reminder of their stagnation. Your achievements become a source of their insecurity. Instead of using your success as inspiration to elevate themselves, they begin to see you as a threat. Instead of celebrating your victories, they start to resent them. Instead of supporting your dreams, they begin to sabotage them. And the most insidious part is that they often don't even realize they're doing it. They justify their actions as friendship, as helping you stay grounded, as protecting you from disappointment. This is why recognizing the signs of secret competition is so crucial. It's not just about protecting yourself from harm. It's about understanding human nature at its most complex level. It's about recognizing that the people who have access to your inner world have the power to either build you up or tear you down. And unfortunately, some of them will choose the latter. The question isn't whether you have secret competitors in your life. The question is whether you're aware enough to recognize them before they strike. Are you paying attention to the subtle signs that reveal someone's true intentions? Are you protecting your dreams and strategies from those who would use them against you? Your destiny is too important to be sabotaged by secret competitors. Your dreams are too valuable to be stolen by those who lack the courage to pursue their own. Your success is too precious to be undermined by people who are supposed to be supporting you. This is about awareness, protection, and wisdom. This is about recognizing that not everyone who claims to be in your corner is actually fighting for your victory. Now that you understand the foundation of secret competition, let me show you exactly how to spot it. The first sign is perhaps the most telling, yet the most overlooked. Watch carefully how people respond to your victories, both small and large. A secret competitor will celebrate your minor achievements with enthusiasm. But when you achieve something truly significant, something that elevates you to a new level, they become strangely quiet. Think about it. When you get a small promotion at work, they congratulate you warmly. When you lose 5 pounds, they notice and compliment you. When you buy a new car, they admire it and seem genuinely happy for you. But when you get that major promotion that changes your life, when you start your own successful business, when you achieve something that puts you in a completely different league, suddenly their enthusiasm disappears. They might offer a quick congratulations through gritted teeth, or they might not acknowledge it at all. This happens because small victories don't threaten them. Small achievements don't trigger their competitive instincts. But major victories, significant breakthroughs, life-changing successes, these expose the gap between where you are and where they are. These successes make them uncomfortable because they highlight their own limitations and lack of progress. The second sign is their insatiable appetite for information about your plans and strategies. They ask questions that seem innocent on the surface, but when you really examine them, you realize they are conducting an intelligence gathering operation. They want to know your timeline, your methods, your resources, your connections, your weaknesses, your strengths. They'll say things like, I'm just curious, how exactly are you planning to expand your business? Or who's helping you with your marketing strategy? Or what's your budget for this project? They disguise their probing as genuine interest, as friendship, as concern. But what they're really doing is gathering ammunition to use against you later. Let me tell you about Rebecca, a brilliant entrepreneur who had developed a unique concept for a fitness studio that combined traditional workouts with mental wellness coaching. She was excited about the idea and shared it with her sister Jennifer during their regular coffee meetings. Jennifer seemed fascinated by the concept and kept asking detailed questions about Rebecca's business plan. Jennifer wanted to know everything. Who were Rebecca's target customers? What was her pricing strategy? Which suppliers was she considering? What was her marketing budget? How was she planning to train her staff? Where was she thinking of locating her studio? Rebecca, trusting her sister completely, answered every question in detail. She even showed Jennifer her business plan, her financial projections, and her marketing materials. Jennifer appeared to be the perfect supportive sister. She offered encouragement, asked thoughtful questions, and even suggested improvements to Rebecca's plan. But 6 months later, when Rebecca was ready to launch her studio, she discovered that Jennifer had opened an identical fitness studio just 3 miles away. Jennifer had used every piece of information Rebecca had shared to create a competing business, and Rebecca confronted her sister. Jennifer claimed it was just a coincidence. She said she had been thinking about the fitness industry for years and had developed her concept independently. But Rebecca knew better. Every aspect of Jennifer's studio, from the services offered to the pricing structure to the marketing approach, was identical to Rebecca's original plan. This brings us to the third sign, constant comparison. Secret competitors can't help but measure themselves against you. Every conversation becomes an opportunity for them to establish where they stand in relation to your achievements. They'll say things like, oh, you got promoted to manager. That's great. I was offered a similar position last year but turned it down because I wanted something bigger. They can simply celebrate your success without somehow inserting themselves into the narrative. They can't acknowledge your achievements without diminishing them or claiming to have achieved something similar or better. This isn't confidence sharing, this is insecure positioning. When you share good news, they immediately respond with their own good news. When you talk about your challenges, they have to tell you about their bigger challenges. When you mention your goals, they have to mention their more ambitious goals. They're constantly keeping score, constantly measuring, constantly competing. Even in casual conversation, the most dangerous aspect of these three signs is that they often appear positive on the surface. The person seems interested, supportive, and engaged. But beneath the surface, they're systematically gathering information, positioning themselves, and preparing to compete with you using the very knowledge you freely shared. This is why awareness is so crucial. When you recognize these patterns, you can protect yourself without becoming paranoid. You can maintain relationships while being selective about what you share. You can continue to trust people while being wise about who deserves access to your most sensitive information and biggest dreams. The fourth sign reveals itself in how they respond to your opportunities. Secret competitors have mastered the art of discouragement disguised as concern. When you're about to take a big leap, pursue a major opportunity, or make a significant change in your life, they suddenly become your voice of caution. They plant seeds of doubt in your mind while making it seem like they're protecting you from potential disappointment. They'll say things like, are you sure you're ready for that level of responsibility? Or don't you think you should wait until you have more experience? Or what if it doesn't work out? Have you considered the risks? They frame their discouragement as wisdom, their doubt as realism, their fear as practical advice. But here's what's really happening. Your opportunity threatens them. Your potential success makes them uncomfortable because it highlights the gap between your courage and their fear, between your growth and their stagnation. So they try to keep you at their level by convincing you to stay small, to play it safe, to avoid taking risks. The fifth sign is perhaps the most infuriating. They copy your approach, your style, your ideas, but claim it's purely coincidental. They mirror your success strategies while maintaining complete innocence about the similarities. If you start wearing a particular style of clothing, they suddenly develop an interest in the same fashion. If you change your hairstyle, they make a similar change weeks later. If you adopt a new business strategy, they implement something remarkably similar in their own ventures. When you point out these similarities, they act surprised and claim they developed these ideas independently. They might even suggest that you're being paranoid or possessive, but the pattern is too consistent to be coincidental. They're studying you, copying you, and then gaslighting you into thinking you're imagining the whole thing. The sixth sign is what I call selective availability. These people have an uncanny ability to be present for your struggles, but absent for your triumphs. When you're going through difficult times, facing challenges, or dealing with setbacks, they're right there with you. They offer their shoulder to cry on, their ear to listen, their advice to guide you through the storm. But the moment you start succeeding, the moment you begin to rise above your circumstances, they become mysteriously unavailable. They have urgent appointments when you want to celebrate your victories. They're dealing with their own crises when you need someone to share your joy. They're too busy to attend your success events, but always seem to have time when you need comfort in your failures. Let me tell you about Thomas, a real estate agent who took a young colleague named Patricia under his wing. Thomas was generous with his knowledge, sharing his best practices, introducing Patricia to his network, and even referring clients to her when he was overbooked. During Patricia's first difficult year in real estate, Thomas was her constant support. He would spend hours coaching her through challenging deals, helping her navigate difficult clients, and encouraging her when she felt like giving up. Patricia's career began to flourish. Thomas noticed a strange pattern. Whenever he closed a major deal, Patricia would suddenly have family emergencies that prevented her from joining the team celebrations. When Thomas received industry awards, Patricia would have urgent client meetings that kept her away from the ceremonies. When Thomas achieved significant milestones, Patricia would be dealing with personal crises that required her complete attention. Thomas realized that Patricia was available for his struggles, but unavailable for his successes. She wanted to be present for his challenges because they made her feel needed and superior, but she avoided his victories because they reminded her of her own limitations and made her feel inadequate. These three signs reveal the true nature of secret competitors. They're energy vampires who feed off your struggles and starve during your success. They want you to need them, but they don't want you to exceed them. The seventh sign is the mastery of the backhanded compliment. Secret competitors have perfected the art of praise that cuts rather than builds. They give you compliments that sound supportive on the surface, but actually diminish your achievements. They might say, "You're so lucky to have gotten that promotion. implying that luck, not skill, was responsible for your success. Or they'll comment, "That's a nice car for someone your age," suggesting that you're somehow undeserving of your achievement. These comments are carefully crafted to appear positive while actually undermining your confidence. They plant subtle suggestions that your success is temporary, unearned, or somehow inappropriate. They make you question whether you truly deserve what you've accomplished. The eighth and final sign is perhaps the most destructive. They create or amplify drama in your life precisely when you're about to achieve something significant, when you're on the verge of a major breakthrough, when you need focus and clarity the most. They suddenly become sources of conflict and distraction. They might pick a fight with you the night before your big presentation. They might create a family crisis just as you're launching your business. They might bring up old issues and unresolved conflicts when you need peace and concentration. This isn't coincidental timing. It's strategic sabotage. They understand that your mental and emotional state directly impacts your performance. They know that drama and conflict will drain your energy and distract you from your goals. So they manufacture chaos at the most critical moments, ensuring that you're not operating at your peak when it matters most. Now, let me help you understand the psychology behind this behavior. Secret competition doesn't emerge from strength, it emerges from weakness. It doesn't come from confidence, it comes from deep-seated insecurity and fear. People who compete secretly do so because they don't believe they can win in an open, fair competition. They lack confidence in their own abilities, so they resort to manipulation and sabotage instead of honest effort. Most secret competitors start as genuine supporters. They were once people who truly cared about your success, who authentically wanted to see you thrive. But somewhere along the journey, your growth triggered their insecurities. Your progress became a mirror that reflected their own stagnation. Your achievements became a constant reminder of their unrealized potential. Instead of using your success as inspiration to elevate themselves, they chose to see you as a threat. Instead of asking, "How can I achieve what they've achieved?" they asked, "How can I prevent them from achieving more?" Instead of being motivated by your example, they became intimidated by your excellence. This transformation doesn't happen overnight. It's a gradual process of erosion, where admiration slowly turns to envy, where support gradually becomes sabotage, where friendship eventually becomes secret competition. They often don't even realize they're doing it at first. They justify their actions as concern, as realism, as friendship. The root cause is always the same. They couldn't handle being left behind. They couldn't accept that you were growing beyond them. They couldn't celebrate your elevation because it highlighted their own lack of progress. So they made a choice to pull you down instead of lifting themselves up. Understanding this psychology is crucial because it changes how you respond to secret competitors. When you realize that their behavior comes from pain, not malice, from fear, not hatred, you can respond with wisdom rather than anger. You can protect yourself without becoming bitter. You can maintain your compassion while establishing necessary boundaries. Now that you understand the signs and the psychology, let me give you the strategy for protection. The goal isn't to become paranoid or to stop trusting people entirely. The goal is to develop wisdom in your relationships while maintaining your ability to connect authentically with others. First, create what I call information boundaries. Not everyone in your life needs to know every detail of your plans, strategies, and dreams. You can be friendly and open without being foolish and exposed. Share your excitement about your goals. but keep the specific details of your execution to yourself until you're ready to move forward. Second, develop an inner circle of genuinely trustworthy people. These are individuals who have proven over time that they celebrate your victories without reservation, who support your dreams without competition, who offer genuine advice without hidden agendas. These people are rare, and they should be treasured and protected. Third, learn to recognize patterns rather than isolated incidents. One questionable response to your success might be a bad day. But consistent patterns of the behaviors I've described reveal someone's true character and intentions toward you. Fourth, when you identify a secret competitor, don't confront them directly. This usually escalates the situation and makes them more dangerous. Instead, gradually reduce their access to your sensitive information while maintaining cordial relationships. You can be polite without being vulnerable. Let me share with you the complete story of Elena, a talented interior designer who learned these lessons the hard way. Elena had always been generous with her knowledge and eager to help others succeed. When her colleague and friend Monica expressed interest in starting her own design business, Elena was thrilled to help. Elena spent months mentoring Monica, teaching her about client relationships, design principles, pricing strategies, and vendor negotiations. She introduced Monica to her network of contractors, suppliers, and potential clients. She even allowed Monica to shadow her on several high professional projects, giving her insider access to Elena's methods and client management style. Monica seemed like the perfect mentee. She was attentive, grateful, and always eager to learn. She would take detailed notes during their conversations and ask thoughtful questions about Elena's business practices. Elena was proud to be making such a positive impact on someone's career as Monica's business began to grow. Elena noticed some concerning patterns. When Elena landed a major commercial project, Monica's congratulations felt forced and brief. When Elena was featured in a design magazine, Monica claimed she hadn't seen the article. When Elena received an industry award, Monica was conveniently out of town and couldn't attend the ceremony. But the most troubling sign was Monica's constant need to position herself as Elena's equal or superior. Whenever Elena shared a success story, Monica would immediately share a similar story about her own achievements. When Elena mentioned her pricing for a project, Monica would casually mention that she charged more for similar work. When Elena talked about her design philosophy, Monica would claim she had developed similar ideas independently. Elena began to notice that Monica's design style was becoming remarkably similar to her own. The color palettes, the furniture choices, the spatial arrangements, everything was starting to look familiar. When Elena mentioned this to Monica, Monica acted surprised and claimed it was just a coincidence that they had similar tastes. The situation escalated when Elena discovered that Monica had been systematically contacting Elena's former clients, offering to redesign their spaces at significantly lower prices. Monica was using the relationships Elena had introduced her to, the techniques Elena had taught her, and the reputation Elena had helped her build to compete directly against her mentor. But the most devastating blow came when Elena lost a major client to Monica. The client told Elena that Monica had approached them with a proposal that was almost identical to Elena's original design, but at a fraction of the cost. Monica had used Elena's own ideas, refined through months of mentoring and observation, to undercut her in the marketplace. Elena realized that Monica had never been a genuine mentee. She had been conducting industrial espionage, using their friendship as a cover to steal Elena's business secrets, client relationships, and competitive advantages. Every question Monica had asked, every note she had taken, every observation she had made was part of a systematic plan to replicate and then surpass Elena's success. The experience taught Elena valuable lessons about protection and discernment. She learned to be more selective about who she mentored and how much information she shared. She developed a system for vetting potential protégés, looking for genuine character and authentic motivation rather than just enthusiasm and interest. Elena also learned to trust her instincts about people's responses to her success. She realized that genuine supporters celebrate openly and consistently, while secret competitors reveal themselves through their patterns of behavior over time. Most importantly, Elena learned that protecting herself didn't mean becoming cynical or closing herself off from helping others. It meant developing wisdom about human nature and creating appropriate boundaries in her relationships. Your destiny is too important to be derailed by secret competitors. Your dreams are too valuable to be stolen by people who lack the courage to pursue their own vision. Your success is too precious to be undermined by those who are supposed to be supporting you. The people who are meant to be in your life will celebrate your victories genuinely and consistently. They will support your dreams without trying to compete with them. They will share in your joy without feeling threatened by your success. These are the people who deserve your trust, your openness, and your loyalty. As for the secret competitors, your awareness is your armor. When you recognize the signs, you can protect yourself without becoming bitter. When you understand the psychology, you can respond with wisdom rather than anger. When you establish boundaries, you can maintain your relationships while protecting your dreams. Don't let secret competitors distract you from your purpose. Don't allow their insecurities to become your limitations. Don't permit their fear to diminish your courage. Keep moving forward. Keep growing. Keep achieving. Focus on your own race rather than worrying about who might be trying to sabotage you. The best defense against secret competition is unstoppable personal growth and unwavering commitment to your goals. When you're constantly evolving, constantly improving, constantly moving toward your destiny, secret competitors can't keep up with you. They'll exhaust themselves trying to sabotage someone who refuses to be stopped. Your success is inevitable when you combine awareness with action, wisdom with courage, and protection with persistence. Recognize the signs, protect your energy, and keep moving forward. Your dreams are waiting for you to claim them.